What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Show. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? It is finally time to finish out our E3 conference coverage here on the channel. We're going to be taking a look at 3 games today. The Destroy All Humans remake is up first, followed by some gameplay for Control, the new Remedy action game. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, I've been a Remedy fan for a long time. You know, I love probably the biggest one is Alan Wake, and I'm still waiting for that Alan Wake sequel. That will never happen. I know it won't, but I'm still hoping for it. Or hell, just make a sequel to Quantum Break. That's what I want to see, because Quantum Break definitely ended on that cliffhanger with the main character leaning into that girl's ear saying, "I'll come back for you," and then going off into the time vortex or whatever the hell that game was about. And then we're going to close out with something from VG247. They've got a nice extended look at Vampire The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. That is a long-ass title. So, yeah, I think this is a good way to kind of close things out. I initially wanted to show some stuff for the Outer Worlds, but the problem is I couldn't find the clip that I was looking for, so I kind of replaced it with Control. So, you know, just kind of the way that that shit crumbles. Real quick, before we hop in, I do want to make an announcement, because this is kind of replacing the weekly show for this week, and that's usually when I'd make an announcement like this. If this upcoming Monday, the Monday, you know, after this video comes out, I have orientation for my new job, so I have, my first day of orientation runs from like 9 a.m. to 5 in the afternoon, so it's going to be a long day, so if the uploads that day are short or non-existent, that's why. It's just, you know, it's just because I have to, you know, obviously I have to go to that. I have orientation Tuesday, Wednesday following that as well, but they're much shorter. They're only about like 3 hours, so... Just a warning. So Monday, I want to say that's actually July 1st. Yeah, it is July 1st. Will be light on the uploads. If not, no uploads at all. It's like I said, it all just kind of comes down to how the schedule falls. So, just wanted to throw that warning out. I'll probably say that there at the end, but either way, let's hop into this. All 3 of these are no commentary, at least from what I've skimmed through. Again, I'm kind of experiencing these blind with you guys, like I usually do. I mean, just from this opening little bit that I've seen from Destroy All Humans remake, I'm super pumped for it, man. I mean, this farm area, you know, which was the first area in the original Destroy All Humans, the flying saucer, the cows. I mean, already this is what I wanted. There's only one thing that could make this better, and that is if the anal probe weapon still comes back. Or, I'm sorry, it wasn't the anal probe, it was the probe. Where basically you charge it up, you shoot somebody with it, then they run around clutching their butts before their head explodes and their brainstem pops out. God damn, I love Destroy All Humans.
Orthopox to Cryptosporidium 137. Come in, Cryptosporidium.
Crypto here. How's the view from the safety of the mothership?
Very funny. Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here, and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. Now, Crypto, to ensure this invasion runs smoothly, it is imperative we identify the dominant life forms on this world. Those lactating bovoids are likely candidates.
Lactating bovoids?
Surely you don't mean those foul-smelling gas bags beyond the fence?
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
But they're covered in nipples.
Cryptosporidium.
Covered in nipples. Look, you wouldn't say, AJ, that's really not that funny. AJ, that's really childish. I don't care. I love that kind of humor. I love Destroy All Humans. Well, just one, for how all the stupid old pop culture references they made. Just how stupid Crypto was. Oh my god, I can't remember who she was. The queen or whatever of his species. The Furons. There we go. That's what they were. I mean, Destroy All Humans 1 was so much fun. It was so goofy. I think the sequels really took a step back. Although what Crypto did, he fell in love with a woman, like a human woman in that one. She was really like a hot blonde spy woman. Yeah, I kind of remember that. I don't remember a lot about Destroy All Humans 2, but I thought it was a step back from what 1 did. So already I can tell. I think they're really trying to grab that sense of humor, that not taking itself seriously kind of vibe that Destroy All Humans, the original one, had. Then you mix that with, I mean, I love the look, how it doesn't look that much different from the original. I mean, it looks a little sharper, but still, I mean, they still kept the same look. I think they kept the same voices, too. Because that sounds like, I think that's the original voice actor for Crypto and the Furon Queen.
You may look and aim by physically...
Pox, that's her name.
Right analog stick. You can move about the area using the left analog stick.
Into the cow paddock.
We can peer into the minds of lower life forms via the cortex scan. Rip the preliterate thoughts from their pathetic little...
Oh my god. That's great.
Scan another one.
Okay, so the telekinetic powers are also back. Well, I guess this is telepathy, or telepathic, not telekinetic, but...
I think these lactating bovoids are trying to fool us.
I love the term lactating bovoids.
They eat with their mouths. I think I'm going to be violently ill.
Okay, that was a line taken straight from the original. That is straight from the original game. I remember that line, was that they eat with their mouths. Yeah. They're okay, so when this is a remake, this isn't going to be like the Ratchet and Clank remake, where it's kind of the same, but they're taking it in its own direction. This one looks like it's almost going to be shot for shot a remake of the original.
Earth creatures, this planet is now part of the Furon Empire. Your benevolent masters welcome you. At this time, we wish to abduct you for the purpose of scientific research. The procedure will be protracted and invasive. Do you have any objections? Earth
Yes.
creature, I am a...
You see these things on the back of his head moving? It's a weird detail, but I like it.
Respond or be vaporized. I don't care how many stomachs you have. I don't have time for this.
Oh, that's great.
These creatures. Use PK to finish off the belligerent bovines. Slam them into the ground.
Yeah, his jetpack.
Excellent.
Drowning him.
Excellent work, Crypto.
Martha, you didn't tell me we was having barbecue for dinner. Wait a minute, that ain't steak. That's holy mother... Martha, give me the shotgun. You know what they call me
Attention,
in the
you do
war?
in fact have a weapon.
Zap-o-matic.
Try it now and give that puny farmer a taste of the old Zap-o-matic. When you kill a human, target the corpse and the brain stem will explode from the human's body. You can consume the brain stem and collect the Furon DNA.
Harold, come on back. You gotta see this. They got a talking horse on the TV.
A Mr. Ed reference?
Ah! Lil Green Spaceman! Ah!
Like, the audio quality of the game is kind of crappy.
I'm not green.
It's making me feel like they actually pulled the audio from the original and they're just planting it on top of it.
I'm afraid of you, space boy.
Good.
But did he throw an axe at that guy and that guy end up living through that? Oh, cool. You can just extract the brain from living subjects as well. I mean, again, if that... I mean, still, though, if you don't get the probe weapon, I'm still going to be upset. Because, again, I liked using the probe.
Evening, Ms. Turnip Seed.
Really? That's the name?
From Farmer Dixon over the other side of the state road. Said he heard some pretty strange noises coming from over this way. What is that? A new silo?
Crypto! That human law enforcement officer is attempting an unauthorized entry of your spacecraft. If those pea-brains were to get their hands on your quantum deconstructor, they could rip a hole in the space-time continuum! Oh, the furonity! Vaporize them, Crypto!
Oh, okay. So another game in which the main character can't swim.
Show yourself. Stop right there.
Hey, Rusty!
Try to throw a flaming hay bale at him.
Crypto, my radar shows more humans approaching. Hurry to the saucer!
So I mean, it really, if anyone out there didn't play the original Destroy All Humans, the whole thing with the brain stems, it's DNA. It's used to upgrade your character. I'm assuming, seeing that how much of this is, I mean, really, this is just a cleaned up version of the original map. I mean, hell, I even remember doing this. Destroying the buildings with the death ray on the saucer, and in between, and then you can like revisit these worlds and farm brain stems and whatnot for to get more upgrades. And in between missions and whatnot, you go to the mothership, I think it is. Again, assuming everything's the same.
Move out, man! Move! 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 I don't know, but I've been told.
I don't know, but I've been told.
Joe McCarthy's good as gold.
Joe McCarthy.
Oh, great.
McCarthy.
Human military-industrial complex. We can't allow them to alert their leaders to our presence. Exterminate them! Now!
Open fire!
Really? They're still forming lines in this day and age? Whatever. You know, seeing what the death ray does to the ground is really making me sit here going, oh, I'm going to start writing obscene words.
There are more to the north in the bushes. Good work, Crypto.
It's like peeing in the snow.
The humans are making a final push. Wipe them out once and for all. Excellent work, Crypto.
God damn stupid ads. I don't know why it keeps telling me to play Magic the Gathering. Oh, it's the FBI and the Men in Black or whatever.
Did you see what I saw?
You bet your sweet ass I did. What did you see?
Little green man in a flying saucer wiping out the best infantry unit in the U.S. Army.
Right, good. Me too. Green? Not gray?
Don't be a stiff. You know what it means?
Absolutely. What?
It means the papers got it right for once. Get on the horn to Silhouette. We've got the worst case scenario.
The eggheads were actually onto something? I don't believe it.
Believe it. Roswell was only the beginning. The invasion is on.
Oh my god, I'm surprised how much they're keeping the same. That, you know, I'm continue destroying all humans. I really am. I thought that they'd go for more, I don't know, an original take, but nah, it really looks like they're just, you know, it's one of those, no, we're just gonna take the original and just go ham. You know, it's just we're just gonna redo the original game. Oh yeah, the, you know, being able to clone, or not clone, but, you know, hollow bob. That's what it's called. Because there were actually stealth missions way back then, way back when. God damn, I cannot speak. I'm just so surprised that they're, again, like I said, that they're going this much like the original.
No, think about baseball. Think about baseball. Oh, Rock Hudson. No, baseball.
Baseball. Okay, and then a little, excuse me. And again, in the little free roam areas, then you run around, you do these little challenges.
Martians.
Crypto, I hereby give you official permission to destroy all humans.
Maniac McDonald. Booyah! You're trespassing.
Good work, Crypto.
You want a piece of me? Bring it on, Baldy. I'm afraid of you, space boy. You silly my poor cat, weren't you?
Nice shooting, Crypto.
Critter. Maniac McDonald. Booyah!
See, I like how you can target them with your mind abilities, but still shoot other people. I don't remember that being in the original. Sorry about the coughing. No, so I mean, it looks, I guess it does. It look like they're making some updates and some changes, some like quality of life things. But again, for the most part, this game looks so. It reminds me so much of the original. Not even reminds me of the original. It's just it is the original.
No, it is, spaceman. It was you stealing my poor cows, weren't it? Well, it's been a while since I whooped a critter. What they call me in the war? Maniac McDonald. Booyah!
Maniac McDonald.
I'm afraid of you.
Hell, I mean, I even think some of this dialogue that they're, you know, it's like with the they eat with their mouths thing, like this bit where, you know, you're having them, you know, like that Maniac McDonald line. I'm pretty sure that was in the original as well. This I keep coming back to it. This might be one of the most true to the original remakes I have seen in a long time.
It was you stealing my poor cows. Well, it's been a while since I whooped a critter. It's a good day to die, you little bastard. This is my place. You ain't welcome here.
Excellent.
All right, that was cute. No, I'm already excited. I was super pumped when I heard that they were remaking Destroy All Humans. Now after seeing that, I'm way more excited. I cannot believe that they are doing that they're going that similar to the original. This brings me back to when I was a little kid and played this game. Well, I say little kid. I'm actually not sure how old I was when I played this, but now I kind of want to dig it out and play it on my PS2 again. But that's oh well, that's something for another day. We still got more stuff to look at it, and just so this video doesn't end up being 2 hours, let's keep rolling. I think I've already said it. I love everything about what we just saw. So let's move on and take a look at Control. All right, I'm looking at this window. This janitor dude in here is really freaking me out. Either way. You know, I now that I really think about it, I really don't know a whole hell of a lot about Control. I know it's Remedy. I know it involves some weird, crazy powers. But I see people describe this as supernatural, yet I thought it had something to do with, like, I thought it was more Matrix-y, like inside a simulation or something. I don't know a whole hell of a lot to expect. Like I said, I just kind of skimmed through this. I wanted to see if we were dealing with, you know, kind of like a narrated chunk. But no, this is, as far as I can tell, this is just straight up gameplay of Control, and I'm pretty excited to actually see like one chunk, not or I guess instead chunk, what, vertical slice, I guess is the best word to use to describe it, as opposed to these sort of like cut up clips that we keep seeing from it. So let's get into it. This is also from GameSpot, by the way. Oh, that's not really disturbing.
Well done.
Look how streaky the floor is too.
It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop. I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ati here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ati. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes.
What's up with her? I want to see something weird going on with the main character's jaw. Looks like it's off center.
But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
Like, not from that angle. When she was talking straight on, it's weird.
I can tell you are not yesterday's Krause's son. That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts on the table. This house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this.
What language is he speaking?
And the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow?
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it, and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow. You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you, Ati.
Seriously though, what language was that? Like, there's bits of it that kind of sounded German to me. You know what I mean? Like, I was also seeing like the umlauts and whatnot, but yeah, I can't freaking tell what language that was. I mean, hell, there were bits of it that kind of sounded, I don't know. I could not tell you. You know, I was kind of reading the comments of this video and I kind of laughed. I think somebody said something along the lines of, oh man, what was it? It was, this might be the first time I've seen an NPC have more detail to the character than the main character.
What's down that way?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's something in her face. Again, her jaw looks. What the hell was that red flash? But yeah, it was something in her jawline or something. It looks offset.
This place makes me nauseous.
And it's when she's talking. I don't know. Like, again, it's like that guy's like the language or accent that guy was speaking. I can't explain it. Cleanse the merry-go-round horse object of power. Okay.
Why is kid stuff always so creepy?
Because people in horror movies have been using it to make it creepy for years. Okay, I'm going to be entirely honest. I have no idea what the hell is happening. Jesus! Okay, so they get this evade. Well, that's cool. Wait a minute. Yeah, I want to go back there for a second. Watch that. Watch what she was doing with the gun. Yeah, it kind of looked like she was. Can you swap fire? Yeah, it looks like you can swap fire modes with the gun. I'm not entirely sure what those fire modes are, but interesting. I mean, I'm sitting here confused as all hell, but I was saying I'm sitting here confused as all hell, but at the same time, I think I'm supposed to be. I mean, look, I got no doubt that the story is going to be really interesting. I mean, again, this is Remedy. I have very high faith in this studio. Yet, although at the same time, I think that they've always kind of been they've been trying to kind of recapture what they had with Alan Wake, but have never been able to grip and shatter. Okay. All right. So yeah, okay. So it looks like she's carrying around this pistol-looking thing. So the pistol changes forms, I guess. Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, I love the studio, but they really can get out there sometimes with their concepts.
FBC security. Shouldn't you be in a safe room?
They all have HRAs. We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC security. Oh, hang on, you're the new director. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing? Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Well, that's catchy. Oh, listen, the radios aren't working, so if you find my boss Salvador out there, could you please ask him what the plan is? I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him. He sure has a lot of faith in his boss. Try to stay alive.
Now, if I can actually get this thought out, it's like I said, the studio is very kind of out there with a lot of their concepts, but it's like I said, I think that they're trying to make things so weird and cerebral and, you know, all these alternate dimensions or whatever. And again, I think it's because Alan Wake did so well. It really kind of, Alan Wake kind of caught as kind of a cult classic. I'm really hoping that they don't try to go too out there with this game. I mean, nothing wrong with being out there. Again, I mean, it's what I loved about Quantum Break with the whole time travel thing, the TV show. I like that they're trying to be innovative, that they're trying to do some new things. And I'm sure that's what they're trying to do with this game. It's like I said, it's just, I hope they don't try and do that so much that everything just becomes confusing and unenjoyable. Unenjoyable. Words are hard for me right now. Oh, that's neat. Looks like something out of, oh, cool, we get force powers. Looks like something out of, oh my god, Evil Within. There we go. Alright, that looks kind of like your traditional pistol. I want to see what the other... Shotgun. Okay. Alright, so it's looking like there's actually some RPG mechanics here. Because, you know, it looks like there's a skill system, weapon modification, and everything. It looks a lot... it looks like there's a lot more here than just your traditional sort of action game. Oh, enemies have levels too. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't catch the little numbers on top of the enemies. I'm gonna guess that the glowing bits are the weak points. You know, that traditional video game mechanic. Shoot the glowy bits. It's also looking like there's not ammo for your guns. It recharges after so many shots. You know, kind of a weird question to you guys. Do any of you guys at home enjoy the, you know, when you get like these little like force telekinesis powers that, you know, oh, I can pick shit up and throw them at people. Like did any of you guys like really use that a lot? Sorry. Not saying that I won't use it. I don't know. I prefer just using guns. Or the primary means of combat. I think that's so much easier than trying to utilize telekinesis or whatever and throw things at people. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm just curious. Because I've had people tell me that Or, you know, I've had people IRL ask me, he's like, well, AJ, why aren't you using the telekinesis? I'm like, well, why? It's just, it seems more trouble than it's worth, when I can just as easily just shoot the people in the face.
What the hell is that? Oh, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm gonna guess you're not gonna want to get hit by that. What do you know? Don't get hit by the weird, gross vomit. I like seeing third-person shooter mechanics in games. I'm not sure how I feel about this. That this is a non-cover based shooter though just by looking at the enemies, I guess it works more like a run and gun kind of version of a third person. I mean, it's just the thing that kind of gives me a little bit of worries about that is that I've seen games attempt to use a more run and gun style, try to mimic what like the fast paced slide and glide shooters like Wolfenstein and Doom have tried to do. I've seen games try and utilize that that way of doing things with third-person shooters before, and it just doesn't always work out. It's kind of like the soft cover system that you're seeing in a lot of games now in third-person games, where it's just crouch behind something and that's cover. But to me, that's always, I don't know when I'm in cover, when I'm not in cover, if I'm... What? If I'm in cover, not in cover, I can't tell if I'm, you know, like exactly where all the angles are that are going to get shots on me. It's just...
No, let's take care of the power.
I don't know. It's just something I've never been a big fan of. I mean, it looks like it'll work in this game, especially with the kind of enemies you're fighting, because this isn't just a traditional, you know, shooter in which, you know, you're fighting a bunch of other people. Well, it looks like there are enemies with guns, but I'm trying to think the best way to explain it. It kind of reminds me of kind of like The Last of Us in a way, because I think The Last of Us actually did that soft cover system very well. It's one of the few games that I've actually really enjoyed it on. Huh. I have no idea what the hell we just saw. It looks interesting. I mean, like, the game itself looks good. The enemies look interesting. The powers look interesting. I can't tell you what this game's about until, because I'm going to have to see this everything. I'm going to have to see all of this in context, because, again, welcome to playing a Remedy game. But again, the game looks smooth. It's like I said, the shooting's interesting. I don't see a lot of games utilize shooting like this, and I'm usually not a fan of it. Or let me rephrase this. I see a lot of games utilize this, but rarely am I a fan of it. And I look like this one could grab me. Like it still looks pretty solid. It looks really good. for what it is. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to play a big wait and see on Control. Granted, like I said, I was sitting here most of the time just looking at this, going like, what the fuck am I watching? But I don't know exactly what to think. Tell me what you guys thought about it, because I think this is going to be a game that's very polarizing. That's very I think you're either going to like it or you're not. But either way, we're going to move on to the final video, and we are going to take a look at I'm going to guess the demo version of Vampire the Masquerade. All right, guys. I think I kind of said the best for last here. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't want to take a look at Destroy All Humans. Not saying I didn't want to look at Control, but both of those, on the one hand, were kind of pad the runtime of this video, so this didn't end up just being kind of a shorter video. But I mean, also I did want to kind of take a look and see what we were dealing with those games. But here we go. We're gonna take a look at the demo for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I thought the first game, for what it was, I mean, it was developed in the Unity engine. It was really not something to look at, in all honesty, but within that game, I think that really found a way to bring tabletop RPG, like character building, into a video game. Did it very well. I think the story was actually really cool. Just the game itself was really interesting, but sadly, I think its visuals and a lot of the bugs with that game really kind of held it down. So I have really been interested in Bloodlines 2, and I'm pretty excited for this sequel. So without further ado, here we go. Let's take a look at this. As always, video links will be down in the description. All right, so just kind of to start things off, you get your thin blood discipline. So you play as a thin blood. Which again, as far as the World of Darkness, specifically the vampire lore, I'm not 100% sure on. But Thin Blood, it's kind of it's its own classification of vampire. They're typically very weak. They're almost considered second-class citizens within the vampire world. But they all have these disciplines. So you have the chiropterin, which involves bats; mentalism, which is the telepathy; and nebulism. Basically lets you turn into a fog. You can use mist to choke people. Like nebulation is pretty cool, but personally, I'm probably gonna go chiropterin just because I want the ability to like turn into a bat and attack people with bats. And that's just me personally. If they're kind of giving us a chance to kind of read and choose what we want. Are they going to go chiropterin? There we go. And from what I saw, I think they just kind of... For some reason, they don't cut this load screen out. There we go. Okay, so talk to the factions about a job. Hey, boss, got a message from the factions. They want to chat. They're at the bar, the coffee shop, the club, and the parking garage. Have fun with all of that. All right. So from seeing that, I'm gonna guess that our character here is kind of what to call him? Kind of sort of like a mercenary or a PI or something like that for the other vampire clans, because I mean you're not technically allied with any of the other specifics. Something else I do want to take a look at. You kind of while we're here, you see see how that icon changes. Now you're in the Masquerade area. Again, this is kind of for people who who've not really experienced World of Darkness or Vampire the Masquerade particularly. And again, I'm not saying I'm the the go-to guy for this. With my I have a general understanding of some of this stuff, but the Masquerade, it's basically you're hiding amongst the humans. It's you're not going to do things to break the Masquerade. You're not going to do things to reveal the vampires to the humans. Now, when it said Elysium, excuse me, that's kind of like a safe harbor for vampires. Vampires, they're not supposed to attack each other within the confines of an Elysium. They're not supposed to do anything like that. These are like crimes within the vampire society. So basically, now you're in an area that you're not supposed to openly use your vampire powers. I will say, I like the... I was about to say the futuristic look, but I should say the modern look compared to the first game.
Hello?
Well, they got a problem with you walking in the middle of the street? You know, this is something I've never understood about first-person games, but why does your character always look to be about half a foot shorter than everyone else? Does anyone else notice that when they play? Oh, cool, they brought back the crazy dancing. You could do that in the first game and it was hilarious. Oh, man. But no, has anyone noticed that in first-person games? You know, it always looks like you're about a head shorter than everybody. It's like you're looking... First person's supposed to, like, you're looking through the eyes of another character, but in a lot of first-person games, it kind of feels like you're looking through their neck. Like, that's where the camera's placed at, so everyone just so you look really short compared to other people. Oh, hello.
Hello there. I'm happy to see you accepted my invitation.
Oh, for you, anything.
I figured I wasn't the only one requesting your services, but I'm sure I can make it more worthwhile for you, especially given how simple this task is. All I need you to do is to find a thin blood by the name of Slug. He's in hiding, but the Nosferatu most likely know where he is. Once you find Slug, all you have to do is purchase some information off of him. It sounds simple, I know. And while I would usually handle something like this myself, Slug has made it clear that he doesn't trust my people, for whatever reason. So, can I count on you to get this done for me? Good. Here's the money for the information. Make sure Slug delivers. If he attempts to back out of the deal, feel free to use whatever methods are needed to get him to comply. Until then, I'll be waiting here for you. I look forward to your results.
And given the looks and the outfit, my guess is that she's a Toreador. Not Toreador, that's not what they are. They're, is it a Toreador? I can't remember I always forget the name of that clan. It's not Toreador. It's, I can't remember off the top of my head. I always forget. Basically, their focus is on things like art and charming other humans. Stuff like that. Troubadour. There we go. It's someone with a T. Jesus Christ, I'm dumb. Sorry, that was really irritating me. But yeah, I mean that's my guess. Is, you know, they're usually very okay, so this is a blind spot, a place you're basically outside of the outside of the sight of people, and not back into a masquerade area. But yeah, the troubadours, they're very much a lot of their skills have to do with art and charm. And the Nosferatu.
I assume your handlers have sent you to find our smelly friend.
I said you could help me. You don't smell so good yourself.
I'll tell you what. I'll change my tone when you're capable of doing something about it. Until then, you'll just have to indulge me. You can find Slug under the freeway, a bit south of the square in a place the locals call the jungle. He's smart enough to hide among the homeless down there, but not quite smart enough to do it well. You'll find the entrance near King Street Station, but you'll want to watch yourself. Slug is a coward, but he survived this long on his own, so he's bound to be a handful. He's also not the only one you'll need to look out for. Lots of unsavory animals in the jungle. How about you tone down the politeness, Teddy Bear? You're not fooling anyone.
I kind of wish the character was voiced. I don't know.
there is something else you can do.
I've never been a fan of
He's a
the
scumbag, but he is
just select your dialogue option.
Talk to him about coming to see us. We're prepared to give him another look in exchange for a little info. We'll also make sure he's safe from anyone who's after him. And there's always someone after that guy. Do this for us and no one needs to know. We'll let you keep anything you've been promised from whoever sent you to me. If you need, we can even float a little tale upstairs verifying that Slug met the business end of a salt shaker, if you know what I mean. So, do we have a deal?
Fuck that, I'm not risking this for you.
Don't hurt yourself until we meet again.
And clearly, again, if you're, oh, sorry about ads there. If you're not used to the Nosferatus, basically they're named after the old school vampire movie. Their visage is really kind of messed up, and it's why they can't walk around above ground with the humans. So typically they travel in the sewers. In the first game, it was kind of like an unnecessary hard mode that you kind of put on yourself because you had to travel through the sewers because you couldn't travel above ground because as soon as anyone saw you, it was a masquerade violation. Oh, that's neat. Cool. So you can actually parkour in this one. But yeah, so the Nosferatu, you couldn't be seen by anybody. So it was kind of like an unintentional hard mode on you. But they act almost kind of like the information brokers because they're always hiding in the sewers, and they always kind of hear things that other people wouldn't be able to. So they're they kind of have their own interesting little place in the vampire hierarchy. If I remember correctly from what I've read about this game, is that at some point you actually get to join one of the vampire clans. You still maintain your thin blood abilities, but you get certain advantages of being part of the different vampire clans. The hell was that? Okay, and you just summon some of the bats to attack those guys. Kind of missed that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how he fought those guys because I thought he said he was unarmed, but I guess he just threw his bats at them. But either way, I'm really curious to see kind of how the whole thin blood becoming part of the other clans thing is going to work. Because I'm not entirely sure. Again, it's like I said, as far as the entire lore of the vampire games, or the vampire series is, I'm not the most well versed. So exactly how honestly, until this game came out, I've not really heard of Thin Bloods. So this is kind of my first. This is interesting, kind of like a focus mode. So I'm guessing you can sense people, figure out who's worth drinking. I'm assuming. I'm sure this will get explained to us. Someone who's moaning. It's weird. So it's looking like you can attract that the guy right there to his left. So you can kind of pull him out of sight. So you can feed. Down here it looks like there's a. I couldn't grab my mouse. Looks like down here there's a blood meter. I'm assuming that using different vampire skills is gonna take up that blood meter to refill it. You need to drink off of, you need to drink I guess this is a lockpick situation. God damn! I kept getting I'm getting sucked off of this point. Yeah, like I said, as far as the entirety of the vampire lore goes, I'm not an expert here. So again, as far as how the Thin Bloods and how they work in society, I'm not 100% sure. But I don't know. I'm really curious about that. Okay, this is weird. The combat and the way this is working, you know, like flying with the bats, reminds me so much of. What was I saying? It reminds me so much of Dishonored. Yeah, what I'm talking about, the UI, that's what I'm getting at. Oh yeah, you can feed off of rats. Also, if you notice when he was feeding on that human, you could see that bar filling up. I think if you fill that bar completely, you kill the person. So it looks like you could either, go head first through there. You could go through that opening up there on the side, or maybe through that vent if you had that nebulist. If you were that class, because I think you can turn into mist, so you could probably get sucked into that vent and up into the building. So it looks like there's the different ways to approach the situation. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, that's what I would have gone with too. Instead of heading straight in, I would have gone up the side of the building. Oh, so you have to worry about humanity. Interesting. You saw when you got that kill, it's a humanity lost. So my guess is, if you kill people who aren't trying to kill you, you lose humanity in a way. I'm gonna guess that makes you that feeds more the bestial side of being a vampire. Also, seeing picking up guns as an option. From what I remember, gunplay and combat was kind of a weak part of the original. They weren't, they weren't great. So I'm curious to see how gunplay is going to work. Combat looks to be very bare bones here, from what we're saying. Because, well, one, I think we're early on. Two, this is a pre-alpha build, so it looks a little clunky. But I'm really curious to see how this is gonna play out. When we actually get our hands on the game. Sorry, I know I've been using this excuse lately, but if it seems like I'm kind of out of it, oh, that's sweet. What was I saying? If I seem like I'm stumbling for my words here, I'm probably really dehydrated. It is super hot in my house right now. I can't run any fans, or else it gets into my recording, and it's just or it's not necessarily just it's hot. It's just super humid. So basically, in between all the videos we've watched here, I've just gotten up and like stood in front of an air conditioner for a couple minutes. So far from what we've seen, I'm. Oh, that's cool.
You. I don't know you. That's a good start. What do you want?
Okay, so your typical RPG, negotiate, coerce.
Is this really how you want to go about this? Want to hear something scary? How about I tell you what happens to you if you go back to your boss empty-handed? You miss the sunrise that much. Thanks. And as for your employers, tell them Slug says have fun ripping up the jungle for the data. Okay, rats! Time to earn your cheese.
Yeah, little pro tip to anybody watching. Don't use... Oh, that's cool. What was it saying? Don't use a Molotov when you're standing right in front of somebody. Usually doesn't go well. Thaumaturgy. That's really hard to say. Yeah, I have no idea what some of these skills are using. I know thaumaturgy is like blood magic. As far as the other one, I couldn't tell you. Yeah, punch a guy wearing a helmet. That's a... What was the point of that if you're not going to do like some sort of cool finishing move? Like, why do that weird like jump over him thing? And you see, guys, this is why I don't play games on PC very often, or at least do keyboard mouse. Just because of the way that your camera's just jutting all over the place, it moves around so fast, it really hurts my eyes. By the way, combat looks a lot more solid than it did in the first game, and again, this is even a pre-alpha, so I'm kind of hoping that things won't look as blocky is not the right word, choppy or very stiff. I'm kind of hoping things will smooth out once the game comes out proper, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far from this game. I mean, it's not necessarily, oh my god, I'm so surprised to see this, that, the other thing. I mean, it does look like a I'm seeing things that do definitely remind me of the original game. I'm still really excited for this because I really like the concept of this game and the and just RPGs in general. I'm really liking what I'm seeing here.
I don't have the data on me. It's here. I can tell you where it is. I just wanted them to have to work for it. I didn't mean it personally, understand? I just wanted to fuck with your bosses, that's all.
Yeah, I'd kill him, but whatever.
Okay, I'll tell you where it is.
I'm just that kind of vampire.
So let me go. I don't want to die here. Not here. Not after all the shit I had to do to get out. All right, calm down.
Wait, I want to go back and read that last option.
All right, calm down. Not after all the shit I had to do to get out.
Slug, my stabbing hand is getting really twitchy. I love it.
All right, calm down. I'll tell you. It's a tent, yellow tent, close to the highway. You just walk a few steps and grab it. Now, please. I gave you what you want. Just let me go. Maybe I can help you out somehow. If we meet again, just let me go. I'm begging you. Thank you. I swear, I'll make this up to you. Just thank you.
And then back to the original gameplay area. There we go. God, it's awesome. I don't know why I love that animation so much. I just do. No, like I was saying though, I'm not surprised by what we're seeing here, but what was I saying? I'm not surprised by what we're getting a look at here, but I really do like what I really do like what I'm seeing. I mean, in all honesty, I really like the vampire idea and the society that they've created. The whole idea of the masquerade, the different vampire classes or bloodlines or whatever. I think this is. Sorry, I think this is one of the. This series, I guess, is one of the few games that I think has done vampires not only in a. That has done vampires in a really cool way. It finds a way to have them almost be sexy, but also not be Twilight. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Like you really get to see the whole. I'm trying to think exactly what I mean by that in a way that doesn't sound weird. But you can role play and you can do the whole charming sort of vampire thing without without it making it feel like Twilight. Because I feel like that's always the problem that I think a lot of vampire games run into. They either make it so dark and edgy, more Blade-like, that you lose that ability to kind of role play and charm and whatnot, or they go too far in the other direction and it feels kind of like vampires who are glittering in the sun. I feel like that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines really kind of found that balance and really kind of created this universe that was really fun. Well, I guess I shouldn't give all the credit to that game. I should give the credit to World of Darkness and Vampire, but that's beside the point. Again, it's just so much of this game is really appealing to me. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Finally. I've been eager to find out who I'm playing against. I'll take that. You've done the Pyramid a great service tonight. And I want you to know my superiors will hear about your good work. Now, I must return to the Chantry, but we shall work together again. That's a promise.
All right, well, there you go, guys. There's a look at Vampire the Masquerade. Just so I don't get hit with anything just for looking at their logo. Like I said, I really like what we got to see here in this game. It's hard. It's hard to explain. It's just, again, it's a better looking version of the original game, and I think the original game really was an outstanding RPG for its time and when it came out. I think, like I said, I think its visuals and the bugs just really held it back. So I'm really hoping that Paradox and everyone and these guys can come out and really deliver a strong RPG that really is in the same vein as the original game. But all right, but either way, so I think that's going to about do it for E3 this year, guys. Wow, it's been a long couple weeks, and in all honesty, I think this year's E3 kind of sucked. I think there were some cool things shown. I think Nintendo had the strongest showing. I think there were some cool games, but as a whole, the conference really, I've been hearing this for a few years that the conference has kind of been dying. But you know what? I think this year was the most in-your-face example of, this conference is really starting to going into a tailspin. So I don't know. I love it. I'm hoping next year maybe they can pull something off. But yeah, I mean, with Sony pulling out this year, there really wasn't anything that breathtaking. I mean, like I said, there was stuff like Watch Dogs Legion, but beyond that, wasn't a whole hell of a lot to see this year. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me what you guys thought about the stuff that we saw in this video or E3 as a whole. You can do that down in the comments. You can do that over on any of the social media platforms that are listed down in the description. Like I said, there will also be links to all three of these videos down in the description. And other than that, like, comment, not already, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notifications are turned on if you are subscribed or are about to subscribe. And I gotta go grab something to eat. So like I said earlier in the video, Monday, the upcoming Monday from when this video is posted, don't expect a lot of uploads. I'm sorry about that. Again, it's a work thing I gotta go to. Other than that, thanks for watching, and until next time, my name's AJ Gels. This is Something Game Channel. For the final time in E3 2019, I'm out.